Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. It's been a while. Took a little bit of a break and been messing with a bunch of shits. Updated some of my panels. Pretty much finished with my version 3 model. But hello, Sea Wills. Thank you very much for the sub. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good holiday. And yeah, all the other Booyakasha. So, second pull up Blender here. Just sort of show what I got here. Oh hell no, I'm never gonna put big booba on my stuff. Don't want to attract those special people out there. Hey Scotty. I found a t-shirt. What sort of t-shirt did you find? Blender being goofy again. You're stinky. She them titties, yeah. Hi, Ama. No, you. Thanks for that, Rick. Oh, here is the new model. It's actually armature for the time being. Stinky? Yes, I am. You better lurk, and you better lay down. Take a good nap. Maybe some medicine. Get rid of the face hurts. Yeah. So, one big glaring issue that I have with my new model that I'm still working out the little kinks with. Pop over to the new one. Is the hair here. So if we turn it around, you can see the hair is okay from this angle, but problem with Unity is the dumbasses don't have a double-sided material by default. So that's like the one big issue I have. The other one is, for some reason, my elbows are like tucking back or something like that. I've already tried messing with the armature itself, but I might need to switch up some of the weight painting. But other than that, everything's been fine. I always forget that this is how you change the lighting. But this is the new model. Just well, not really going to Twitch really. Yeah, I can't blame anybody. Way Twitch has been and Kick is like both of them are just fucking cesspools. And as you get further towards the middle of the pool, you're like going deeper and deeper into the muck, and that's where all the high-end people are. But yeah, let's see. Over the last month, basically, I think it was day before my birthday, I decided I'm just gonna take a break from Twitch, do my own shit, get stuff done. Made this model pretty much from scratch. Um, then worked on texturing it, baking the textures out. I already managed to import it to Unreal Engine. This is the model that's being used right now in the lower right corner of the stream. And then the one that I'd like to get to would actually be this Mamma Jammer, which is slightly different with it. There's actually a red to heal. This one where I tried to do using the Unreal Engine armature to import it into Unreal Engine and use it there. That way I don't have to deal with a bunch of retargeting bullshit for using the animations that the default mannequin has, which would save me a lot of animating bullshit in Blender in the long run, but it didn't work out too well. Though in Unreal Engine, the materials actually have a double-sided thing, so we go to like just the wrong one. Linked. We'll isolate this just to Shift H, hide everything else. You can see the hair is just a single plane. This was done with curves. So I try to keep the poly count low and doing all that other hoo-ha. This one outfit for him. There was another one that I did. I don't remember which one it was. And scalp. Was it scalp one? This one. This one's got the full meta rig, okay. This is what it looks like before you do all the crap with Rigify. I like to keep several backups. I'm trying to remember which one I... With the full one? Yeah, with the actual hair particle system. I need to get some Aziz light. This is a fun thing about like doing stuff with the particle system. You don't got your settings set to a specific way. Where was it? Oh, yeah, we'll just in here. So this like looks very threadbare whenever you're looking at the stuff in Blender with the particle system. But if you go to under the image, it I forgot to hide the other things. Unhide the particle system. Hide the So if we go from there, like you can see, actual rendered out looking hair looks much better whenever it's rendered out, because the viewport display I pretty much set to show what my computer can handle without exploding while streaming. But it's much fuller in this in the rendered mode, and actually whenever it gets ported over to Unreal Engine, this actually works over in that. Go. Oh, nice. Alright, so we're backing up here. Well, other than that, it's been working on that, essentially trying to get this rig all set up in Unreal Engine. So take a moment to load that. So this might take a bit to load, just because it's essentially like loading a whole new program. May I upscale them? Yeah, scale all the ups. Go wonky. Remember, I'm looking over it, see? I'm just going wonky in general. Look. You're neat. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else I have been working on. Bunker. Game panels. A little side thing I've been working on based off of a certain other VTuber. Don't need to make the ears and the coat that she wears. Then I'm going to actually try the particle system for the hair. I want to keep testing, like working with that. But see anything sticking out? But slowly working on everything. As time goes by, it seems like computers slowly not liking having multiple things open at the same time, so it's like ripping it apart. Just changing the roughness on this is like, okay, so 0.8 rough, like a t-shirt. Then I always forget if it's up or down to make it less shiny. Then this one is the opposite of it, where you take it all the way up to give it the metal shininess. Yeah, people are like that sometimes. Try to give them advice and then they act like dickheads. It'd be that way. But other than that, boop, 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 boop. New, anything old? This is a little chibi model thing that I made. I need to finish that one too. I need to finish the thing for Ama's trying to make. Waiting for loading. 5.4. Eyeball. This is actually one of the eyes that I used for on Alma's model. I'm not playing well. I got out of that a long time ago, and I do not intend to go back. Alright, so let's get over to alright. I always forget that this stupid thing doesn't like to capture the editor that well. Is it no display? There we go. Okay. This is actually something that I had shown in the past. Hey, JP. That's a JP. Yay. But as you guys can see, I got my current model one. You actually see the damn hair renders properly in this one because did I put in textures or did I put it elsewhere? Hair color. Now the hair particles thing. If I could get it to actually work in here. But it looks like it might need a little bit of weight painting. It's just sort of like put it right down. All the model stuff's yeah. Add materials. Slots. Do you have any basic one? Yeah. Add. Work with that one. I can't remember how that materials. Oh, should have changed color. Or else I'm doing it incorrectly. So brushes, the cards I'd like to try with. Finding physics I need to work with here. A lot of stuff I need to do with this, with the hair itself. But once that figured out, big thing would be adding, I think I need to add a control rig to this, and then essentially like one thing I want physics and oh, shit. We've got the opacity there. And right here. This is by default on the base material for Unreal Engine. Whereas in Unity, you've got to do like a whole fucking script to make something double-sided. Like, you've got to make it like a whole new shader. Because a lot of the ones that were recommended for using for double-sided shading, like that, I can't remember what the hell it's called right now. Whenever you first start up Monster Hunter Wilds, it's the top left logo thing that shows whenever it's something tree shader or something that Unity has also. But that was like a big one that's recommended by a lot of people for making double-sided materials, but it doesn't fucking work properly with my hair, so it shouldn't be super duper damn hard to make it so that it shows on both sides. Hi, Anu. How you doing? Yeah, new model. But yeah, I was going over like how Unity lacks a thing like this where you can just tick a box and it turns the material to double-sided. Instead of having to make an entire damn shader. Yeah, long day. This weekend like took a lot out of me. But yeah, that's my one gripe with trying to get this model working in the VC face. Yeah, thank you for the hug. I also got some new commands up in the panels. I did some work on my panels on Twitch finally. But what I'd mainly like to do is I eventually plan on using this just what I stream from, where if I do just chatting where I'm just bullshitting with you guys and stuff, which sort of just bullshit with you guys in general anyway, wherever you come in. But thinking of having like the old school static cameras, like how Resident Evil games used to be like on the PlayStation, and same for Silent Hill, where you'd come in and there'd be like this one angle where it's watching they fuck around the computer or something, or watching like right there, and then it's kick over to this angle for whenever I'm on the computer, or probably like this one, because once I get the computer imported in, be able to see the screen better from this angle. But then like down near the bottom, have like a little heads up display, sort of like how the old Doom games have, where got the portrait in the middle, the character portrait in the middle, but that's actually just going to be like a live sort of cam feed of my model in this region. You can see like my head moving around and talking. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Like I'm fairly happy with how the stylized hair came out with like the VC face version. VC face doesn't support the particle system from Blender, so I can't exactly use this. This one again? Oh, that's for the animation. It still bothers me that I can't remember exactly what the hell I throw the material on for this. Ooh, let's throw it in. Characters. So, it's 3. Hmm. Hey. This is probably the most time consuming part that's sort of annoying when it comes down to how the double-sided stuff doesn't work in Unity. Each of these strands of hair have bones in them, so I could put physics to them. But it's hard to tell since the damn thing's not double-sided. But the I guess I'm just happy that it actually works though. Once I figure a good way to get this implemented for Unreal here, and I get the studio fully operational, which I've been saying like so often in the past. Damn ads. Ah, waffle fries. We'll kick on some music while we're waiting for the ads to get done. Do, 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 do. Hmm. Alright, welcome back from ads, everybody. But, yeah, so that's what's been going on with the stream stuff. Aside from that, I've been looking over some properties and looking into actually starting my own farm. So, like, real life farm with vegetables and stuff. So if that goes through and I get approved for everything and figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with living there and stuff and getting everything moved over, I plan on doing some stuff relating to that for stream stuff. So thank you for the hug. I still need to add the light that I made for this right here. And there is a potty in here, but not a whole lot of light to it. There's the Unreal Engine mannequin just for like size comparison. If I go into play, let's make sure it actually captures it on screen. There we go. Being a bit of a bitch with the stuff, but it's one thing. I bothered to give it good enough collision that I can go underneath my desk and just like chill out there. This is just a solid thing right there. Out here is a bunch of nothing, but I have collision all around the outside. So if I'm just like free roaming, I don't go like shooting out of the building. I have to figure out where the hell I'm going back into. One of these days I'll figure out a proper way to fix that issue with the damn stream thing, other than going into the config file and changing that. I think that's how you're supposed to. You can fix that like without having to put in that command each and every time. But yeah, I know once I can get out of that. Once I get this with a control rig, I'll try retargeting the animations from this one. Hey, Kuko. To the place I belong. And yeah, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. Wrong one. Where was it? Where was it? Visibility, browse to asset. That was good. So these are all animations that the base UE skeleton has. I'd be okay just poking around explaining what I've been doing for the last month as per the new model on screen. Just chit-chatting about stuffs like what I'm trying to do. But if I could get these retargeted on this skeleton, that'd save me some basic animations right there. Meshes, rigs. Oh, that's control rig right there. Okay, a lot of stuff to look at. Yeah, thank you. It's not as good as I'd like it to be because, well, Unity. My hair is see-through because it's planes to try to reduce the poly count. Because if I was just using the damn full thing, it'll double a lot of this. And basically I was trying to do the whole hair cards thing that a lot of games will use nowadays to reduce how much of a poly count their models have. But yeah, like here you can see in Unreal, I'm able to at least get the double-sided effects for the hair. Whereas in Unity, I can't do that without making an entire fucking shader just to do it. Which, for those that don't know, whenever you go to make a new shader in Unity, you've got to do some coding stuff. So anybody that doesn't do coding shit, that automatically probably shuts down your idea of it. But as I was showing here, no, it wasn't this one. It was the hair. Whereas in this one, it's an option like right off the bat. It's two-sided. Just turn it on and it does two-sided hair. Well, two-sided shaders for the planes. So I do have this hair from and this isn't 100% correct. I always mess up the controls with this. Middle mouse button's different stuff. But this is actually hair from Blender that I brought in. I still need to where was it? It's one that reduces how much strands. Root scale, I want that. Tip scale, 0.5. Almost. Of course, I need to work on some of the stiffness, I think. Which I think is done in the physics tab. Still learning about this stuff. But this is made using the hair particle, well, the particle system in Blender. And then I import it over to Unity. The problem is I've got to do a bunch of shit with my model itself before I can even clamp it onto it and get rid of the hair here to not have that like messing with how it looks. Either that, or else I'll just import in one without the hair. And I'll just be running with this. But the one thing is, other than just essentially clamping it to the model, also have to worry about like whenever I retarget some of the animations from the mannequin. Hey, Mod. Nice to see you. Yeah, thank you, Mod. Yeah, a bunch of new stuff. I even got a bunch of new commands. Just had to look down in the panels, because I actually updated my panels a little bit too. Whoa. Feel it more. More I need it. Whoa. Say whoa. But yeah, it's like so far, I think the bunker's pretty much all done. I imported the chair in because I needed test for tests and stuff. Need to import in the computer and the keyboard still. Import the TV from the other Unreal studio that I had. But yeah, that's just a lot of work still left to be done. Then eventually, once I get that stuff working, I wanted to mess around with the...
I tell you what, I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
Hey, Nautical. No, but I've been okay. The hard way. Yeah, no problem at all. But let's see here. Cover the new model stuff. Cover...
Degenerates! You guys degenerates!
Yes, goddamn degenerates. But let's see. Unreal Engine stuff. I gotta do control rig, get the hair attached, do an animations. Even if it's just quick cuts to changing from sitting at the desk to sitting at the workbench. Changing and then causing that to change the camera angle. Just trying to think of other things. Talked about the farm that I'm trying to start up in real life. End of this month, I should be going to look at a piece of property. And 13 acres. So, good starting farm. I already know what crops I want to try to do on it. I already got an idea of how to, like, when the farmer's market opens in this area and other avenues to attempt to go with for selling the produce. But yeah, just pretty much been that. All the menace. That's one thing I sort of like about Unreal Engine too. By default, the editor, I think it's like every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes, it will do an auto save unless you turn it off. Dun, 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 dun. Trying to think of what else I've been up to. Bunch of lurking like usual, and that's been going on here or there, though I did take a bit of a break from even doing that whenever I was working on this stuff. But what else can I tell you guys about? Well, after I get everything set up for just the studio, I'm gonna start. Well, I've started looking already a little bit, messing with the Twitch API, so that you guys could use some of the channel points for triggering different things in the scene. But first and foremost, getting us, just looking at my T-pose model in the place. Then, of course, I'd get rid of this because it's just there. It's just there for size comparison. Actually, I exported this out of Unreal Engine and imported it into Blender just so I can get an idea of what the height difference is. But so we did all that. I've been working on Monster Hunter Wilds still. So, for those that don't know, this is actually from the most recent Blender update. This is actually a movie. I think it's called Flow. And pretty interesting story to this whole thing. Originally, the dude did the movie as a 2D thing in high school, and then he did some other projects with Blender and 3D stuffs. And then eventually decided to revisit his project from high school and made this movie called Flow. And he did like all the storyboarding sort of stuff in Blender on a laptop. So I was like, yeah, he's got a decent bit of time to waste, I guess, to be able to do that. Well, it didn't end up being a waste. He ended up winning an award for it. But I've still been working on this. I would, if I had a better rig, I would definitely be playing Monster Hunter Wilds more than anything else. But currently, all I have left are 5 more achievements. 5 different weapons, catch 30 whoppers, gold crowns, miniature gold crowns, and then the one for getting all the other ones. So technically 4, I guess you could say. I think I was up to 50 or 60 hunts on Sword and Shield. So today I actually managed to get another monster done for gold crowns, so Master of the Monster Hunters? Nah. At most, I'm tenacious. I continue to do stuffs, even though my PC chokes on its own dick sometimes when we're trying to run the game. But, yeah, what else was there? There was something else I wanted to tell everybody about, but completely forgot about it. Oh, with the farm stuff. If I get the farm stuff going, I plan on actually doing sort of like how I've seen some channels. Anybody else that follows the Zarkon that is hanging out here probably knows about the duck dash cam thing that he raids into sometimes, and sort of stealing that idea a little bit, where plan to have like cams on the crops and let people just watch the crops go as they want, and maybe even do a thing where people could cheer so many bits and sort of quote unquote claim a plant as their own. And yeah, one of those little things that I've been rolling around in my head. Very, very busy. Oh, we've been going. Oh yeah, that's about all I can say about the update for this stuffs. I don't know why the hell it doesn't have the... in the third person? I think it's in third person. Blueprints. course, this is gonna take a while to open. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever opened the third-person blueprint on this project. There we go. Fucking crash. Too much stuff going on the PC. Then a restart. I've seen that more than my fair share. Just messing around in Unreal. It's to be expected. Same for Blender. I've had crashes in Blender too. Especially when we're remeshing something. Did not shut down cleanly and the following batch of auto save associated with okay, yeah. Gonna be slow. Alright, we'll see what else. Alright, at least it's starting back up quick. No, we won't reopen these. We'll just have baseline essentially. Let's try again. Keeps crashing it opening the third. Kernel. Login. Parent animation class, parse class, data structure. Line 1298. I'd have to throw that into. I'd have to open that up in VS Code. Send and close. Let's try. We'll go into the new one. I've been trying to like. Since it feels like I as can be seen, I've done like several different things in this, but nothing seems to be sticking super well. So I'm just going to, I sort of went back to basics of this is how you can learn how to do Unreal Engine shit. Just trying to get a more thorough basics understanding of this is what the blueprints things do in Unreal, and this is the file that I'm using for it. Which, damn. I can't remember where I made this one. This one's the one that's actually operational, where you can see chat on the window in the back, on the TV in the back. It's got my previous model in there, and it's already rigged so that the body has control rig, but from I think it's the neck up is controlled by VC face. Problem is, whenever I made this model, I forgot to get rid of the root bone whenever I was rigging it. So it screws some things up that whenever I try like doing different using different posing programs that are supposed to work with VC face. Because I wanted to try to use that for actually posing instead of having to go in and change stuff around using the control rig. But yeah, probably still has some stuff that I could like transfer over to here, but because that difference in the armature, I'd be worried about trying to retarget or even just steal the skeleton from this one and put it onto that one and copy all the stuff that I've done in this file over to there. I don't want things breaking in this one since it already has all the stuff I need imported in. And this was just mainly me messing around with stuff with a top-down view. This one is actually a project I was okay way through. I need to pick back up with doing it, but it is another top-down project that is essentially making an RTS game. And I've got a notebook around here somewhere. that I took a shitload of pages and notes with. I think once I get done with doing following along a tutorial that explains the basic nodes, I'll go back to that one and try continuing along. Because as can be seen with the version, it's 5.1 and we're up to 5.5.4 right now. So yeah. A lot of stuff. So I think basic here, I just made up for importing stuff in to see if I can get it imported into Unreal Engine. And 5.3 was the current version back then whenever I was doing that. Did some goofing around in 5.5 when it first came out. But big thing I want to try to eventually get down enough that whenever it does happen, like, that I don't freak out or have to worry about spending hours doing research just to figure out an issue, is updating from one version of Unreal to another. That's one reason why I want to keep on going with this one, is eventually the guy has a video that updates to a new another version of Unreal for the project, and he shows you how to like go through and troubleshoot and fix some of the issues. And I want to learn the troubleshooting part of it too. I think that's probably the biggest issue that is going on with the gaming industry, where you might see some people shit talking using Unreal Engine. Because it's pretty easy to start off. Like, there are lots of templates to start off with making first person, third person, top down games. Okay, so we got that loaded. Let's see if this one actually loads. Looks like this one actually loads. Alright, so this, the third person mapping. I need to get something like this set up with my model. So with this being the third person template, you can see the camera in the back here. That one is sort of anchored to look at the player model from a distance, and then it'll follow you around. It's got an idle animation with the body. That's one thing I definitely need to animate out if I can't retarget shit from this to my current model. With this crashing whenever I try to open it in the other project, I might just have to migrate everything to 5.5. But this capsule here is basically your collision cylinder. Arrow, where you're facing, that sort of like gives you an idea, like this is supposed to be where it's facing. Character mesh itself. Then what I'd do is I'd take the hair that I had in the other scene. Taki head is. Yeah, hello. Welcome. But you import the hair, and then you connect it to the mesh. That'd be good for in this position, but once you started running with the model, the hair would just float behind it. Well, with it. So that's what messes up. So you gotta sort of get it to mimic the animation and do it well enough that it doesn't look like it's just bouncing off the head. And then collision, of course, so the hair's not flying through the head as well. A lot of stuff to work. But very, very simple stuffs here, just been going over. I think I got up to checking the event tick, because for this, I just go to that. Yeah, it's have it set up so whenever it collides with that, it changes to a different color. which I guess you could essentially put a whatchamacallit, a destruction where it ends up breaking wherever you touch it, or else it just disappears. I think that'd be a destroy character thing. Yeah, it's like getting all these animations, the jump, standing still, just idle mode. You can see that the hand's barely moving. Pretty smooth animation process for going from standing still to speed walking or run, if you want to call it that. Not sprinting, but definitely going fast. Ah, gonna make it. That's something I like to do whenever I'm screwing around in Unreal here. I know, like, some of the tutorials I followed, like, end up making a health bar and a bunch of other stuff, but they don't explain the shit extremely well with this is what it does. Like, what you're doing right now that's going to cause this to happen on your scene or on your HUD. So that's another part of why I'm going back to, like, basics, essentially, for learning more. Alright, so it's almost 11 o'clock here, and I want to get some damn sleep because today's been a very long day with work, like I usually have in the morning, and then didn't have school for the kid today, but I still end up having my alarm go off at 7 in the morning anyway. Let's see who is live right now. Boop, 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 boop. I know who will raid. So we're gonna raid up Bayfinger and Baljeet tonight. Thank you, JP. You too. So we got the raid message for those that are on Twitch. Can't raid on YouTube because YouTube requires you to be a partner before you can actually raid anybody. But for those that are subscribed, you use the first raid message. For those that aren't subscribed, you use the second raid message. Gotta do this in OBS actually because stupid stuff. Boop. I got the raid started. Boop, 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 boop. Again, thank you everybody who stopped by. Blackbeard Fan 28 on YouTube, and thank you to Muxiel, Mod, Ama, Anu, Kuko, JP, Scotty, and Nardico, all for stopping in, saying Booyakasha. Anybody that I might have missed, or else if you're lurking, hope you have a good night. And I'll see you guys all on Wednesday here, hopefully. Until then.